While the number of Hondurans looking to enter the U.S. at the southern border has sharply declined since this peak, from October 2021 to September 2022, U.S. border agents recorded almost 200,000 encounters with Honduran nationals, representing 9% of total U.S. border encounters, people seeking legal and illegal entry. Now, for context, in 2009, the Honduran military orchestrated a coup to oust democratically elected President Manuel Zelaya. While he was trying to change the Honduran constitution so he could stay in office longer, the U.S., after publicly condemning the coup, embraced the new government since Zelaya was seen by us as too far left for promoting progressive reforms, which would threaten our business interests in Honduras. Now, while Zelaya was aligning himself with Evo Morales of Bolivia and Hugo Chavez of Venezuela, both left-wing rulers who eventually drifted into more authoritarian ways of governing, the alternative that we now propped up in Honduras was much worse, setting the stage for why so many people have been fleeing the country. After head of Congress Roberto Micheletti was installed as interim president by the military, the U.S. backed the conservative National Party under Presidents Porfirio Lobo in 2010 and Juan Orlando Hernandez in 2014, despite widespread reports of election fraud both times. While both of them were conspiring with drug traffickers, under Hernandez, Honduras turned into a genuine narco state, where his government was collaborating with cartels while U.S.-trained military and police units violently cracked down on protesters, journalists, and political activists. Gang-related murders against citizens, many singled out as women and LGBTQ, rose dramatically, often with complete impunity. U.S. multinational corporations began dominating the economy, with private corporations running autonomous cities with their own laws. Corruption was practiced openly, while these post-coup regimes pushed for the privatization of healthcare, electricity, and education. After Hernandez's fraudulent re-election in 2017, we supplied arms funding and training to violently suppress protests, targeting journalists, indigenous leaders, and unionists. Just like other so-called banana republics that I've talked about, the Honduran oligarchs got richer, poverty spiked, as did migration to the U.S. Eventually, popular resistance grew, and in 2022, the election of Xiomara Castro marked a break from National Party rule. She not only is the first female president in Honduran history, she was actually the first lady during Zelaya's presidency. But things are far from good there. Over 60% of the population still lives in poverty, and while the recent decline in people coming here from Honduras may reflect Castro's security improvements, the underlying damage from the narco state that U.S. business interests benefited from for years still remains, hence the mass migration. It's also worth noting that former President Hernandez was actually sentenced to 45 years in a U.S. court for drug trafficking. What can we do now? We can support democracy in Honduras rather than what serves our business interests. We can end aid to their military if there are continued human rights violations, and instead send development aid for education, healthcare, and economic opportunities, and push for transparency on how the money gets to the right places. We can hold U.S. corporations accountable for labor and environmental practices, and finally advocate for immigration policies that recognize our role in creating the conditions people have been fleeing from.